You're listening to Wiscoholics with Jimmy Christensen.
Hey man, I look at the internet.
Todd Varney.
For as not confident as I am, I'm not unconfident either.
And your host, Erin Alice.
Imagine meeting the love of your life and then finding out that he debates Brady versus Rogers with strangers on Twitter.
These are the Wiscoholics. Drink up.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Wiscoholics. We're on our 7th episode, you guys. I think it's 7. I actually lost count, but how exciting.
You gave up after 3 because you know we're going to get canceled soon.
Right. I was like, there's no point in counting. It's just a matter of time.
And yet, no one has still asked for this.
Well,
we just keep making them.
Right.
It requires listeners for people to
yeah, right,
be mad
exactly.
about it.
We can only get canceled if people actually listen, I guess.
Yeah.
But welcome back, the show that nobody asked for, where we talk Wisconsin sports and then some. I'm your host, Erin Alice, as always. With me is Jimmy and Todd. We're gonna start with Todd. Todd, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Yeah,
as always, especially now that I'm here with you guys. And I'm glad you mentioned that we're on episode 7-ish, because I realized we failed to do something in our first several episodes. Probably should have been like a lead in on the first. We never gave an actual shout out or thanks to our buddy Ebo for doing the intro voiceover for us. So
right.
Shout out to him.
I
That's
tweet him,
honestly,
though.
that's honestly the most professional part of the show.
I know, it really leads people in. They're like, oh, this show's legit. And then within 10 seconds, it's like, oh, no.
Speaking of that voiceover, though, I really think we should change your thing, Todd, to feel free to shut the fuck up. With Todd Varney.
We might have to do that. We might have to do that. And also, well, on that note, Jimmy, how are you doing today? You got a nice haircut?
Yeah, I had a impulsive decision to shave my head in the bathroom and instantly regretted it, but rolling with it.
Yep.
It'll grow back, or I'll just wear
part of life. It happens to everyone.
Hold on. I actually got a real haircut and I get no congrats. Jimmy shaves his.
I can't tell. You have a hair and like you're wearing a hat.
Thank
So
you.
you have a hat covering your hair. I'm sorry, guys. My birthday was yesterday. I'm a little worse for wear.
Well, happy belated.
Apologies. Thank you.
You had a terrible day today because you had a great day yesterday.
Yes. There you go. Nice segue. But I also got a haircut, but neither you didn't mention that either, Todd. So
we commented on it.
Yeah, I dropped a sheesh with 3 flame emojis on Twitter.
Yeah, and he only gave the MILF
and not just because Jimmy peer pressured me into it.
Totally not. Totally didn't bet you that. Anyways, we are already off track. Let's wrap it up. That's the end of the show. We're done. But let's start with where do we start? Some news headlines. I think probably the biggest news headline is that the NFL approved a 17-game schedule for the upcoming season, which means that the Packers will be playing the Chiefs this coming season. So how do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. I go back and forth because I think 17 games without adding an extra bye in there is not, I don't know. I think it's bad for the players because they're not getting an extra week to rest, but now they're going to get another game of wear and tear. We're playing the Chiefs week 17, which could be really cool, or week 18, I guess it could be really cool, but we also might not be playing any of our starters, so it might not matter at all. So
I don't think it's necessarily just going to be
it's
like
just
it could be any
game.
of the weeks. My guess with that game, they don't want that one at Rodgers and Mahomes. That could be like the opener.
That would be good.
Yeah.
And then there's the other part of me. It's like, well, they agreed in this with the CBA. So honestly, I don't feel that bad because they kind of screwed themselves over with that. So I don't know. I go back and forth, but more football for us. So I'm not going to complain too much.
Agreed. I'm kind of going. Yeah, I kind of go back and forth on it too. Because it's one of those things that I don't like. I don't like change. Naturally. And I'm sorry. What was that?
Sorry. My mic slid. It was made on the desk.
But I And I'm kind of one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. But I mean, more football is hard to say no to, especially, I mean, this year it won't be a home game, but next season it'll be a home game, which is exciting. So what about you, Todd?
I'm kind of on it's more football. Believe it or not, it's not going to cost me any extra money. And as far as I know, I'm not playing in any of the games. So I don't really care. I'd like to see the players get another bye week because I think it'll just enhance the product on the field throughout the stretch down the end. But I'm sure they'll figure that out in a year or two. Like everything, it's not going to be perfect right out of the gate. So,
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it'll just be good for morale too. Make them feel, a little bit refreshed, especially if you get one late. And
what about sorry, I was gonna say Packers have to play a overseas game.
They are, yes. That was where I was headed next.
Oh my gosh, same brain.
I know. And I feel like the NFL released a statement on this I feel like it's when you're addressing a group, but you're staring directly at one person. And I feel like they were staring at the Packers when they released this statement saying that every single team will have to play a home game internationally. They specifically said home game. And I think that is so ridiculous personally. Because there are teams that don't draw home fans, and you're going to take a home game away from fans, like teams that have a lot of fans. And I just think that's unfair.
Yeah. I feel like they can't show favoritism like they have at this point with the Packers, like not making them go over there. And I don't know. It makes sense that they say everyone has to do one in 8 years, just because, like I say, they've been kind of letting the Packers slide, and fans are going to be pissed. But at this point, we have an extra game a season anyway. So if they do it that season where that extra game's a home game, then we're not going to be really screwing fans over too much, because it's just an added game anyway. So.
Right. And I do like to see, I know there's a lot of UK Packers fans and just Packers fans around the world. So,
yeah.
What about you, Todd? How do you feel about international games?
I mean, I would always like us to always be at home. Like 17 home games would be great. I don't like losing home field advantage. Ideally, we get to play that game against a team that's not going to put up much of a fight, so we don't have to worry about losing home field advantage to a good opponent.
That's also a good point. And the NFL also said that it's not just going to be London. They were I read South America, Canada, Mexico. They're going kind of all over.
Where would you want to see the Packers play if you could choose anywhere?
Fiji.
Like mid episode of Survivor, they cut away from it and go back to
No, just so I could go there and be like, I'm gonna go to Fiji for the weekend, catch a Packers game, get a cabana, and just sit on the beach having a daiquiri.
Toddith?
Lambeau Field, duh.
You big dumb idiot.
The greatest place on earth to watch a football game, you moron.
He said international, moron.
Called by its real name,
when he
American
talks.
Family Field.
Todd.
It's been a while since we've had that clip played.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like somewhere in Europe would be cool. You can just make a nice long trip out of it. And then just hopefully they win, so you can just keep rocking the same jersey all trip long. And then you just don't ever have to change. It's fun. You don't have to pack anything extra.
That's a really weird.
Yeah,
you can do that anywhere though, technically.
Listen, it's just way cooler to go smelly around Europe in trains.
Okay.
So I've heard.
Alrighty. Let's move along. Let's head over to basketball. The Milwaukee Bucks have lost 3 games in a row. They won 8 in a row, and now they're on another streak, losing 3 in a row, including one to the Knicks. They got beat pretty badly by the Clippers, and then they lost to the Celtics. They're playing tonight, I think in about 30 minutes or so. Todd, I know you're a huge Bucks fan, but are you worried?
I'm not, because that game that they lost to the Knicks, nobody played.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like all their bench.
So, see, I knew that. I'm out for the rest of this conversation.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy, what about you? You concerned at all?
Not too much. They've had that before. They went on a few game losing streak and then they bounced back because they were just coming off an 8-game winning streak not too long ago. The biggest part that concerns me about their losses is their 3-point defense. It was either the Clippers or the Celtics that let them shoot like 50% from 3-point. So if they're gonna let that happen in the playoffs, then they're gonna be screwed. So as long as they can kind of figure out the 3-point defense, they're gonna be. I'm not too worried. But it's such a long. Shut up, Todd. It's like baseball. It's such a long season that these little skids really don't mean much. They already have a high seed in the Eastern Conference right now. This stuff's kind of expected. As if they dropped like 2 games in the playoffs, I'd be crying tears of fear right now. But until then, at this point, it's just kind of tune-up games until then.
Tears of Fear is going to be my new punk album title.
Yeah,
Tears of Fear.
You can only say it like
how many games do you think it takes the Nets to beat them in the playoffs?
I'm gonna go with 5.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't gonna let you say anything higher than 5.
How many games do you think it takes the Nets to beat the Lakers in the finals?
5.
Dude, their starting lineup is ridiculous. They have 5. They can put out a lineup with 5 all-stars. That's
all right.
insane.
This is the NBA now. This is just what it is.
And Blake's dunking again, so look out.
Yeah, he took 2 years off of it. Did you guys see that stuff between Kevin Durant and Michael Rappaport?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is kind of an interesting thing because I feel like he should probably get suspended for saying some homophobic slurs. He did apologize, but Myers Leonard got suspended for saying a racial slur. So
yeah,
I kind of think, but this is the thing, they probably won't do it because Katie's a superstar.
Kevin Durant, he's just gonna get a slap on the wrist.
Right, which is really infuriating because that could be a really good opportunity for the NBA to take a stand on behavior like that. But
I don't know if you can actually say anything to Michael Rappaport that should be punishable, regardless of how quote unquote offensive or non-PC it should be. I'm fine with it.
Like we all know I understand what you're saying, but
we all know you can't run around like dropping certain words, but I feel like if it's being said to Michael Rappaport, that guy's just so good at taking L's that it doesn't count.
It just doesn't count. What's weird though is like
he's just a verbal punching bag.
They used to be like friends. Like they did a little like segment show together. They were cordial and it just took a real big turn to now just saying some weird shit to each other.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Some of it turned me on, to be honest.
Yeah, the one where he was like, "I'm gonna spit in your face." Todd was like, "Do it to me."
Yeah. Don't threaten me with a good time, sweetheart.
God, it's just off the rails. Anyways, so let's move on, shall we?
Hey, you're the one that wanted to talk NBA with me.
I know, and then it turned into you getting turned on somehow. I just never know where it's gonna go. Anyways, let's I did want to give a quick shout out before we move on to Mark Johnson, who won the USCHO Coach of the Year award for his work coaching the women's Wisconsin women's hockey team because they won the championship. So he did get that title. So wanted to give him a shout out. So now let's transition over to everybody's favorite segment, Teach Jimmy Baseball.
Let's do it.
What do you got this week, Todd?
Jimmy, do you know what tomorrow is?
April 1st.
So actually the day that people will be listening to this. Do you know what April 1st is this year?
April Fool's Day.
Todd, I feel like
come on.
I'm assuming it's revolving around baseball.
It's opening day, Jimmy.
It's opening
Spring
day.
training
That's what I was gonna
is
say. I was
finally
getting
over.
to it, asshole. How the Brewers do?
Oh, well, we're kind of on a time schedule here, so go ahead and maybe answer in a timely manner.
I'm so
Jeez.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
So what we're gonna
Brewers do
have
well?
you do?
Okay.
It's spring training. It doesn't matter. And I don't even know what their final record was. I didn't look.
Call yourself a fan.
Here's the thing. I think they'll be fine. I'm not concerned. Let's have you guess what some single season records are, Jimmy. See how close you can get.
Easy.
Let's start with how many games are there in a season?
182.
Final answer? Or do you want to subtract? Or do you want to subtract 20 from that?
I'm gonna go with subtract 20. 162.
You're absolutely right. Great job.
Oh my
Off to
gosh,
a
I'm
hot
so
start.
good at this game.
Yes. You got
You're
one right.
Amazing. Jimmy, what do you think the highest batting average in a single season is?
Oh my gosh. I know it's a decimal.
Yep.
You're welcome. 0.513. No, lower.
Lower. That would
Point-
be insane.
In a season?
Yep. I mean, this
Point-
this record's insane anyways, but that would just truly be insane.
0.4 something.
Well, that's
0.424.
oh, you're an idiot. It's 0.440 by Hugh Duffy in 1894. You idiot.
Is that good though? That's hitting a ball.
ridiculously good.
So when you go to do that thing at bat, hit the ball. If you hit it,
Say, this is not a video.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I wish
this.
the hand gesture.
do that thing.
That was,
New rule,
that
we're
was
gonna be
great.
live video every week moving forward, just for Jimmy to try and show us how he
He's gonna
bats.
get
I am even more amped up to take you to the batting cage just now.
I got
One more time. Let me get a look at that swing, kid.
a desk and computer
again.
in front of me. The old swing, you know.
It's like he's got a fly swatter in his hand.
I'm in a limited space. All right, that would have been a home run easily.
It reminds me
Anyways.
of the way that the hot Cheetos girls in gym class used to swing the thing playing what's the
Swing
game?
the thing. Be more specific here.
Badminton. All I could think of was shuttlecock because
The
I'm a
old
12-year-old.
It says cock. It says cock in the name. Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, when you go up to
Yep,
bat,
Thank you for closing the loop on that joke.
I got you. You're expected to hit the ball less than 50% of the time.
We went over this.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you get a hit 3 times in 10 at bats,
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty damn good.
30%. Yeah.
And you said that would make you a Hall of Famer if you averaged over 3, or is it higher?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're over 3, you'll likely be a Hall of Famer.
I played the wrong sport. I could have been a Hall of Famer. Keep going.
Not with that swing.
You'd be surprised.
What do you think the
Barry
record
Bonds.
is for the most home runs in a single season? And you just said the guy's name. Great job. You anticipated where we were going.
Because he's juiced to the tits.
Allegedly. Let's not
217.
get involved in any defamation. 217. Okay, well, it's 73 in 2001. So you were
73?
close. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. So you were close on a scale of like
Oh,
1 to a
gosh.
million. Like 217 is not that far away from 73.
Yeah.
You were right
Yeah.
there.
Honestly, there
How
should be
about-
more home runs.
How about RBI? Do you know what RBI stands for, Jimmy?
Todd, we know I don't.
Just a look of defeat.
It was so sad.
Stands for runs batted in.
Okay.
So if your at bat leads to a runner scoring,
Yeah.
You're going to go ahead and get that. What do you think the record is in 162 games for the most RBIs?
All right. Home runs are 73. I'm going to say runs batted in's more than that.
Yep. So every time Barry Bonds touched, if nobody else was on base, and those were the only 73 hits he had, that would have been 73 RBIs for him that year.
107.
Wow. You're not even close again. 191, Jimmy.
God
by
damn
Hack
it.
Wilson in 1930.
Well, you threw me off with the last one. It was so much lower than I thought. So I was like, well, just do another low number. All right, keep going. I'm going to get one.
No, you're not.
No, you're absolutely not. What do you think the fastest pitch ever thrown was?
104 miles per hour.
Wow, you actually were in the ballpark, but it also just got knocked the fuck out of the ballpark. Aroldis Chapman, 105.1.
That was so close. Okay.
How about this? Most consecutive games with a hit. Longest hitting streak.
37.
How many games? How many?
37.
Wow. Are you serious? That's, yeah. Wrong.
It's not close.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not close. I knew if you were being any bit excited, it was going to be bullshit.
I know you can't trust anything Todd says. Everything's a fucking bit.
If that was anyone else, I would have been fucking pumped. But because it's you, I was like, he's lying to me.
All right, let's do some pitching stuff here.
Okay.
And we're gonna go all
Wait,
time.
what
not
was the
just
number? What was the number?
56 by Joe DiMaggio.
56. Got
shit.
it.
Yep.
I wasn't close.
Most wins
By
by
a pitcher.
By a pitcher.
Career wins?
Nope, in a single season.
Oh.
And they don't play all the games because they're weak men.
They typically start every fifth day.
Fifth day. Let me do some math.
So like 30 to 35 starts for a pitcher is quite a few.
28.
60.
Okay, well, you fucking threw me off
was-
with that 30 to 35.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was
I know, that was-
1884.
That was shitty. Oh, 1884?
1884. Everybody's favorite player, Old Hoss Radburn.
Yeah, I
had
think I have
60
his
wins.
jersey.
The
I
old
think I have his
horse.
jersey. What team did he play for?
Brewers.
Yeah, they weren't quite around yet. He
We'll
was an
find that
American
out
professional
shortly
baseball
when
player. He played
the
for
soldier horses.
Buffalo, Providence, Boston National League, Boston's Player League, and Cincinnati.
All right. How many? Buffalo and Providence don't have teams anymore, right?
Correct.
Baseball.
Do you know what the Boston National League team's nickname was? They were the Bean Eaters.
I'm kind of pissed that's not around anymore. I'd be a baseball fan if
Phrasing.
that'd be a good team.
Yeah, the rest of this stuff, Jimmy's not even. I'd have to explain everything
Yeah,
to him just
me-
to. So let's move on from that. That was
Well, that
Hey.
was teaching me baseball. You were not even close.
yeah. You got almost none of those even close.
I count my 104 pitcher as a win. So 1 out of 7 rounded up, 3 out of 10 Hall of Famer.
That's
Math, man.
not.
Yeah.
That's not how math works, Jimmy.
I'm a teacher, so I'm good. Trust me.
Is that Common Core?
no, I'm
You know,
still on. I'm
he
still on
really
Shirley
pulled that
Temple.
hat out of his ass.
Yeah, I pulled that hat on my ass on that one. I really
Just a
thought when you
dumbass.
guys told me sorry in advance, I really thought you're gonna have a picture of me, then it's a hat coming out of my rectum, which I would have preferred over that.
But
sausage.
it was the
The
Jimmy and
sausage
his
prom was.
the sausage prom photo. Yeah. Anyways, let's speaking of baseball, this week in Wisconsin history, April 1st, 1970, aka opening, it'll be the anniversary tomorrow or for opening day. The Milwaukee Brewers were founded on April 1st. The
Yay!
Milwaukee Brewers Inc.,
Yes.
an organization formed by Alan H. Bud Selig and Edmund Fitzgerald, acquired the
Selig.
Seattle Pilots. Selig? That's what I meant. acquired the Seattle Pilots franchise. The team was eventually named the Milwaukee Brewers, a tribute to the city's long association with brewing. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but Milwaukee has a history of beer.
I did not.
In its lineage. So, yeah. So
Interesting.
How appropriate
Learn
that
something new every
day is tomorrow. Yeah. I know.
Quick question.
So,
Bud Selig
Yes,
sounds. I feel like Todd's going to tease me for this one. Is that the dude that was also the announcer for a long time? Who was the guy that was the announcer?
Bob Uecker?
Bob Uecker. They both start with Bob.
Selig was wasn't he the
Yeah,
commissioner?
Bob and
for a
Bud
while?
both start with Bob.
Oh,
You're
Bud.
right.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Ignore me.
Bud, wasn't he the?
Stop talking. Mute yourself.
I thought you were talking to me. I was about to.
So
snap
sorry.
back.
I would never disrespect you like that.
Just in other ways.
Well,
but Selig was the commissioner at one point of the league, wasn't he?
also correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I knew him. That's how I know him.
See, you should have put that in your record guessing.
I would have guessed Uecker, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
All right, so that was this week in Wisconsin history. So happy birthday to the Milwaukee Brewers. They are at the ripe age of 51.
Oh, yeah.
Good math.
That
Thank
is
you.
pretty good.
I just turned 31 yesterday. So that was 20 years prior to my birthday. It was pretty easy. So
Did you
anyways.
just do that math quick in your head like that?
Yeah.
Talent.
Jimmy, look out. She's
know.
coming for your job.
Take them. I hate my kids.
I know. I can subtract 20 very quickly. Add and subtract 20 very quickly.
I'm going to save that clip of you saying, I hate my kids, and play it for your children at each of their birthdays.
That's fine. They're going to be hearing that
On
pretty much
repeat.
every day of their life.
All right, let's move on to our offensive and defensive players of the week. You guys changed the names on our agenda, so I'm not really sure who's who. But we'll
You can
go
just call out
with
Aspire given names.
Jimmy, who is your offensive player of the week?
Well, I'm going down the offensive train, and Todd wanted me to tell one of my friends, quote unquote, "What's up?" quote unquote, follow me on the gram. And then I told Todd that she has 2 children, and his response was, "I don't mind being a stepdad." And something about Todd being a stepdad to any children just really offended me. So I'm going to go with Todd as a stepdad as my offensive player of the week.
Yeah, I said this pre-show, but I feel like Todd would be the type of stepdad to like completely turn the kids against their real dad, even if he's like a good person or whatever, or a good dad. He'd be like, he doesn't love you in their ear like every night, and just completely poison that relationship.
I could see Todd being like, "Hey, you never pleased your mom like I please your mom."
Right. Do something so inappropriate when it comes to like never mind. We're not gonna go down that road.
I'm really debating how I want to take this right now.
Hey, phrasing.
I just like how you try to keep yourself from laughing and just made a sound.
I have a great stepfather, so I've learned from the absolute best on how it's done. So,
But would you do that, though?
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a second part to that.
Would you apply what you learned?
I guess we'd have to
We'll
wait and
find
find out. So
Yeah, this
Jimmy,
will be a social experiment.
make sure your homegirl follows me on the gram. Jimmy, what's up? Let's find out.
All right. Todd, who is your
Also-
offensive player of the week?
Any other single mothers out there, or you don't even have to be a mom or single, just any other hotties out there want to
Any
give me a follow
female.
on the gram.
As long as you have
At
boobs
the
and a
Todd
vagina.
B, slide in the DMs. They're open. Let's do this. What's up?
Right. Literally just needs a warm body. any
Really-
Uh,
living body.
Really,
It doesn't even have to be a
knowing
body,
our
just anything
demographic,
warm.
knowing our demographic, I don't know that we're going to get a lot of hits here.
Well,
Who
we'll find
knows?
out. Looking forward to the
I think our
reaction.
only female listeners are probably my family members. I don't know, because I force all of them to listen to it. Jimmy's wife, she's already in my DMs though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that ship has sailed for you guys. You're already in love.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, who's your offensive player of the week?
I am going with Brewer fans on this one because they won Fox MLB on Fox's Twitter poll. 5 rounds of voting. Brewers won the ultimate fan bracket. Best fans in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. So shout out there.
Yay. Do we get anything for that?
Yeah, we.
I'm trying to jump on this bandwagon real quick.
Yeah,
what free shit do I get?
We got a sweet graphic made for us. Let me tweet it at you real quick.
Hey, I'm learning baseball. I'm going to be a huge fan.
All right. So my offensive player of the week is Governor Evers, who this week, I guess maybe it's not him, just legislature in Wisconsin. It is now legal to sell cocktails to go for Wisconsin bars and restaurants and wine as well, which is great because everybody loves a good cocktail to go. So kudos, because that'll hopefully help bars and restaurants during this pandemic. So go get yourself a margarita, Wisconsinites.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
But like I said before the show, let's legalize marijuana while we're at it. Let's let people
Baby
get cocktails
steps.
to go.
I know.
I was so jealous.
It's kind of surprising because like every other big city has already done this. I had to like read it and I was like, oh, Wisconsin hasn't done this yet?
Yeah.
Legally, I guess.
Yeah.
What was
we
awesome
always take road sodas.
Yeah.
In Phoenix, when things first started shutting down due to COVID, like the number of people that I would just see walking around like on a casual evening walk with a red Solo cup or like a drink that you were like, I know that's not water. And I was like, why did it take a pandemic for people to be like, I could just fill this with booze and go for a walk through a neighborhood. No one's going to stop me.
Hey, Todd, is this called, what's this show called? Is it Phoenixaholics?
Oh,
Got me.
Got
me good.
But I'm about to bring up another city. I just spent a couple days in Indianapolis and they have an open alcohol rule in like the downtown. You can.
Oh, is this Indianapolisaholics?
It is. Changed the name
Idiots.
earlier. You missed it.
Damn it. This must be another one of those teams that I'm not on around here. So
you're not missing
anyways,
much.
Defensive player of the week. I'm not gonna go with your name on the agenda.
Say the name. No,
but
don't say the
Todd,
name.
who's
Don't
your
say the
defensive
name.
player of the week? See you next Tuesday.
I was having a hard time figuring out which one was me.
It's the one with the Brewers. That's the better giveaway.
Yeah, that would have been a very good hint.
I got stuck on the names because it has my name on offensive player of the week. But it was because it was Jimmy's topic, and I was like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Defensive player of the week for me, my name is Todd. Lorenzo Kane. He Gold Glover coming back, opted out last year after a few games due to COVID. So excited to see him get back in the mix with the Brewers this year. Opening day is tomorrow or today as you're listening to this. But Jimmy?
Nobody's
tomorrow.
Listening.
April 1st, 2021, opening day.
All right, Jimmy, who's your defensive player of the week?
I'm actually going with Adrian Amos, and it's nothing that he's done on the field, but he started a clothing little company on his his off time, and it is like custom tailored suits. And I saw his picture in it, and he was looking like a real Dapper Dan. So I always like seeing players get their entrepreneur side on. So Adrian Amos, shout out to you. You looked beautiful in your suit. Feel free to send one to all of us. Give Erin a lady suit and we'll you can sponsor us.
Nice, respectable pantsuit.
Yeah. You're welcome, Adrian. You got your first sponsors.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Run far away. If you're listening. There's a really good photo of him getting off the plane in Chicago it was his first game as a Packer, and they played in Chicago. That was when he got that interception off Mitch Trubisky to end the game, and he was in his green suit. Woo, he looked mighty fine. So
keep it in your pants, perv.
Nope.
It's too big to fit in my pants.
Whoa. I hope Adrian's listening. Make sure that pantsuit your son and Erin has a little bit extra crotch room.
All right. So my defensive player for the week is George McCaskey, because we mentioned earlier that the NFL approved a 17-game schedule. The only team that voted against it were the Chicago Bears. So George McCaskey voted for them, which is just hilarious to me, because he, like, how I picture this is they're like, there's an opportunity to lose another game. Absolutely not. Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, George, you can make more money. Well, we can lose another game.
I know, they're already embarrassing enough. Like, George, just let it happen. So can't wait for them to lose another game. So that is our offensive and defensive players of the week. Let's head into good news, bad news. I'm real excited for this. This episode has been a shit show so far, so this should just hopefully wrap it all together. Give me the bad news first. Oh, okay.
Toddeth?
Is he frozen?
Well, that's me. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm here.
Good.
What's up?
Hey. Thought you had had enough and left.
No, I didn't realize he froze. I thought he was just
I
playing.
thought he was just staring at us.
I got real nervous. I was going to call his mom and be like, "You check on Todd."
You got your mom on, call my mom on speed dial.
How'd you get her number?
Todd, you talk to my wife. I talk to your mom. It's fair trade.
All right. Well,
I don't think that's a fair trade.
Wait a minute. Jimmy,
Which one are you insulting?
Oh, what are you doing this weekend, Jimmy?
Well, when I told you I was in Arizona, it was a cover for I'm hanging with your mom.
Well, my mom's going to be in Arizona this weekend, so. And you're going to Arizona this weekend.
Anyways, give me that bad news.
Looks like I'm going to Arizona this weekend.
You have stepdads. How
bad
do you feel
news is Jimmy isn't going to be with us next week.
Well, speaking of stepdads.
No, actually.
Jimmy will be a good stepdad?
I'll be a great stepdad. I've learned from Todd's stepdad.
You're not my real dad. I don't have to listen to you.
Anyway,
I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm never gonna call him dad. You're grown up, Dad. You don't have to.
Not even if there's a fire.
All right, hit me with that bad news.
So this, Erin, kind of goes along with the open containers you were discussing. Let's make sure we're getting home before we're consuming those guys. No drinking and driving. Let's remember, we are an anti-drunk driving podcast.
Believe it or not.
Wednesday morning, March 31st, a Racine County Sheriff's deputy stopped a vehicle on State Highway 20. The driver was a 24-year-old Milwaukee man who had two children in the car, under the age of 2. One was not buckled in and did not have a seat or a car seat. The other one did have a car seat, but was improperly installed. The man was given an OWI. The right lane was shut down so that they could safely move the children to a vehicle. And while they were doing that, another drunk driver came through and plowed into the back of one of the cop cars. Minor injuries were suffered, but that guy was given an OWI. Let's see here. He got a whole list of stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna hit you with everything if you hit them.
Failure to move over, slow down for an emergency vehicle, OWI, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of heroin. So really just like knocked it at the grand slam.
You know
right
what?
there.
Maybe he was operating. Maybe all those things kind of balance each other out, and he was able to safely operate the vehicle. Have we tested that theory
into
yet?
a fucking car that had lights flashing. He was not safely operating a damn thing.
He thought it was one of those pilot people telling him, "Come this way."
Yeah. And And he listened. I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
So we just got to balance out the substances.
So
We
what's
found out
what's
one
the
didn't work.
worst? What's the baddest part of that bad news?
I'd say the first part.
The kids. I
Yeah.
think it's the kids.
Well, and just like 2 more drunk drivers. It's like I realized that on the scale of like the number of drunk drivers in Wisconsin, 2 isn't crazy, but like guys, let's be in the same spot at the same time. Like
like try to space it out. Everybody just stay away from each other.
Nothing's
Yeah.
gonna beat that to the
one drunk
accident.
driver per highway per day. Let's go.
What about that accident where the 2 drunk drivers ran into each other? That's
know,
still my
that was-
favorite story.
It's just-
3. That
No,
was
It was
three.
only
my-
3.
That was all, that
My
was
fa-
also in Racine County.
Good for them.
I
I shouldn't clap
was
into the mic.
my favorite was still the guy that got arrested 10 minutes after getting out of jail.
Yeah.
That was
That's
my
impressive.
favorite. Yeah.
Todd, next week you got to bring in the bad news that you did
Oh,
during one of
shit.
our practice shows. Yeah, shit,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think
yeah.
so. I think we have to. Yeah,
Oh.
literally shit.
There is not going to be a next week, guys.
That's true.
All right. Well, I'm still waiting. Okay, time for that good news.
All right. Well, as a man with facial hair, this one was really promising to me because a lot of times I don't really know what to do. I don't really get fully grown in, so I don't know how to rock my facial hair. And I think I just found my new style. Peter Jacob Woods, 34, an experimental music producer from Milwaukee, got his driver license picture, and he's rocking the Dwight Schrute middle part, like in his hair. And the best part is he has a half beard. So one side of his face has a full beard on it, or I guess a half beard on it, full facial hair on half his beard, and the other half just clean shaven, like a baby's arse.
Why?
So he said he thought it was funny. So this was an opportunity for me to make a joke. If I'm going to look at my license for the next 8 years, I might as well get a laugh out of it, quote unquote. So rock it out, boo boo. It looks good. I love it.
I wish we could all see it. We'll have to tweet it out tomorrow.
Todd found it, so Todd can do it.
You have the link. I'm not doing your job
Fine, Todd, I'll do it.
It's all right.
any more than I
carry-
already have.
I didn't ask you to do it. I left the gym and I see, here's mine. This is a good one too. So I was like, okay, made my life easier.
So, that guy was from Wisconsin. He was an experimental music producer.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up after this, but hopefully it has some
It
weird
means he
sex sounds.
Probably doesn't have a lot of money. I'm gonna probably doesn't have health insurance.
You know, he's saying that he did the shaving as a joke. They cut his power halfway through his shave job, and he's like,
he was like, oh,
go with
shit.
Once again, I'd like to point out. Now we're having a conversation about shaving. You guys haven't even mentioned that I shaved my mustache.
"Oh my God, you did!"
Oh, shit.
Rude.
Manscaped.
No love for the
Shave your
haircut.
balls.
No, those are
Because you
anyways.
have a hat on. We can't see your hair.
You've never done a show without a hat.
I took it off pre-show.
I know
Ever.
but you said like nobody noticed it. Yeah, well, because
And I have great hair too.
Then stop
I
wearing
know,
hats.
and you ruin it with a hat.
No, because then I have to put stuff in it.
All right,
You
this is a
slick it back,
post-show
like,
conversation.
well, no, this is a very important question. Like Peaky Blinders, you slick your hair back?
No, I do like a comb over to the side a little bit.
Okay. If this is a live
Feathered.
show, I'd have you.
Do you like your hair
That's
pushed back? Pushed back. It's
What now?
a Mean Girls reference. Never mind.
What?
You look
Do you ever
sexy
do a
with
ma-
your hair pushed back.
Do you ever do a
Ooh.
man bun? Oh
I'm-
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
close
look
to
at
it.
that!
I'm
Yes.
close to a
Yeah.
man
Oh,
bun.
unfortunately, this isn't video. He took off his hat. This is the first time I've seen his hair without a hat on. Look at
Todd.
that.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
It's the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. Jimmy just orgasmed.
This is
A
uncomfortable.
little bit. Oh, you got a little line in your head too? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I have my girl Brooke go ahead and put that in there for me.
Tell Brooke I need a fade. Can she do that?
Phrasing.
I told Brooke to put that little thing in there for me. Anyways, Let's move along to love hate.
Hey, both of you. Done. Thanks for checking out the episode, everybody. We'll probably not catch you next week.
We say that every week, and yet here we're
also
back
slide
every
in my
fucking week.
DMs if you would like to be part of the show, because I'm tired of these two.
All right, so love hate. We're gonna give a shout out to the Game On Wisconsin Tournament of Hate that's been going on the last few weeks, where Game On Wisconsin has been trying to find the most hated personality in Packers fandom, and they have
Jimmy Christian right here, live and in person.
Hey there, unprofessional man here himself.
The top 4, I think they call them the Furious 4. Is
can we call them the fuckface 4 on this podcast?
Sure.
Language.
Why not? Nobody's listening anymore.
My grandma actually did request that we stop saying so many F-bombs.
Did she?
I
really?
don't believe
I'm so
that.
sorry, Grandma.
Yeah, she did. I'll have her Facebook you, and she'll tell you about it. She emailed
I'm not
me one
convinced
time.
you have a grandma. I'm convinced you were like built in a lab.
No, she was in one of our.
Thank you. I am a fine specimen. It's correct. My grandma, Becky, did send me an email one time that said, Todd Varney, please watch your language on Facebook. Love you anyways, Grandma B.
She sent it in an email instead of like Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, no, she emailed it to me.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
Yep.
All right, so the 4 guys left in the Tournament of Hate is Colin Cowherd, Skip Bayless, Pete Carroll, and
Nadamik and Sue.
You got it. Stick with it. Keep working it.
Sound it out. Nadamik and Sue. So we are gonna, instead of just doing love hate, we are just gonna rank these guys by how much we hate them. So let's start with our 4th seed of this group. I'm going Colin Cowherd. And my explanation for that is I think he is doing a bit all the time and he knows it. Like he's fully aware of it. I think Mike Florio is not doing a bit. I don't think Skip Bayless is doing a bit. I think Colin Cowherd knows what he's doing. So therefore he doesn't feel like a legit piece of shit because I feel like he's just doing it for ratings, which is a completely different thing because it's not genuine. He's not a genuine dickhead. So
I think
that's where I'm going for.
So Cowherd's also number 4 for me. But it's not so much that it's a bit, as we were talking pre-show, like everything he ever talks about is ratings. That's he doesn't spend a lot of time on small markets. He talks about big market stuff. And he always says like the average listener to a radio show, which is where I used to listen to him all the time, was on ESPN radio. He would say the average listener is like 15 to 20 minutes. So every 15 to 20 minutes, he would go over the same stuff. So you weren't getting variety on his show. He wasn't covering a lot of topics, but he was hitting the big market stuff and then like any high level stories out of a smaller market. That's what he is. Anything he is doing is simply for ratings. I don't know that it's necessarily like a bit, because I think he does believe a lot of what he says, but he also believes a lot of what he says because he knows it's going to get traction.
Right. Like, I think, well, I guess like maybe he believes it, but he plays it up, like his hatred for Aaron Rodgers, because he knows it gets a reaction. And he knows that Packers fans are like some of the loudest fans on like sports fans and on the planet. So yeah, I just don't think he's genuinely, like, he has ulterior motives. He's not actually trying to be a dick. He's just trying to get ratings, like Todd said. I hate agreeing with Todd. Oh, the hat's going back on.
Yeah, I couldn't take the bangs in my face.
All right. Well, my number 4, I don't think you guys are going to agree. Well, you don't agree with because he's not your number 4 and you might not like. I'm going to actually go with Nadamik and Sue.
What?
And this is the thing, Packer fans, I don't mind Nadamik and Sue. I think he can be a real asshole on the field, but he doesn't get in trouble off the field. He's overly aggressive on the field. And if he was a Packer, I'd be the happiest person because I think every defense needs just an asshole on their team. Just someone who's just a real fuckface, doesn't care. He's going to do a couple late hits because it's going to set a tone. Don't mess with this defense. I like the overly aggressive players. I would kill for Sue to be on our team anytime. I think he can be a real dick, but It's on the field.
Like
He's not
even when he stepped on our QB's injured calf.
like I prefer he didn't do that, but if he was on our team
and you're like, man,
if he stepped on the other quarterback's calf, and been like, good play, man.
your calf was in the way.
Yeah, I was like, it's not my QB. Do what you gotta do, dude.
I totally disagree with that.
I know. I don't mind. I really stand. I think every defense needs just a you can even call him a dirty player. He's not a dirty human. He's a good guy off the field, has charities and things like that. But every defense needs an overly aggressive person.
So all you have to do is have a charity, and you're a good person.
You can like murder someone. Okay. It's fine. You know what? If you murder someone, maybe you'll end up. Never mind.
All right. Was there never a time that we were going against Adrian Peterson? Was there never a time you wanted like Mike Daniels to step on his calf while he was on the ground?
Yeah, but
that's because he
Adrian
beats children.
Yeah, like he beat his child. Like that's a completely different situation.
What about Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins on the ground, just get a little nudge.
No, I want him in the game.
That's fair too. Okay. I'm giving bad examples. I don't know. I don't mind it. I don't mind.
You are a bad example.
That's stepdad talk. You're
go to your room.
Bad example.
Your
I know it's not my popular opinion for Packer fans.
Yeah, definitely not. All right, number 3. Who wants to go first?
I will, because I feel like Erin and I are probably going to be on the same page on this one. I don't want to be accused of copying her. Pete Carroll is my number 3. I don't really know why Pete Carroll made it this far, to be honest. I haven't went back and looked at the bracket. I'm guessing he
was an 8 seed.
Easy run at it.
Yeah, because he was an 8 seed. Like he wasn't even the top seed. I can't believe there were the other number 1 seeds. I believe were Jared Allen. Cannot believe he didn't make it so far. And then I think it was Warren Sapp. Can't believe he didn't make it either.
Yeah, I definitely dislike either of those guys a hell of a lot more than Pete Carroll. Mm-hmm. I think like there's obviously a bad taste in the mouth, just what's happened with Seattle, the Fail Mary 2014 NFC Championship game. But I don't know that Pete Carroll was really the cause of either of those.
Right. Because I do agree. He's my number 3. And because I mean I don't like him. I think he's arrogant, and I'm sick to death of his chewing gum. Like I hate that I can see him chewing gum through his fucking mask.
Okay.
Like that infuriates me. I got so excited and then I still had to fucking watch it.
Okay, but him popping the tarp with DK Metcalf, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
I don't know.
When DK Metcalf walked into the room after they drafted him, he took his shirt off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
That's awesome. How are you going to get mad at Uncle Pete?
It's arrogant. No, because it's like arrogant. That's like his arrogance. He's just, I don't like it. It was his handling, his reaction to the Fail Mary, like thinking that they deserved it. And I mean, it was just really, it just is still bitter. It's more so the Fail Mary than the NFC Championship game, because that was our own fucking fault. But the Fail Mary was nobody's fault, and he acted like they earned it.
I had nothing to do with that.
Okay, but the Fail Mary, like he acted.
It was also the fault of the dipshit in Williston, North Dakota, that bought me a shot of Fireball before the damn game was over, and was like, "We got this," and I was like, "You're an idiot." And
so it's your fault.
I don't want to talk about
it. It's your fault.
Okay, my mom it's the idiot that bought me the shot.
Anyways, yeah, I cannot believe, as Todd said, like Warren Sapp and Jared Allen and Mike Florio didn't make it, although he may have had to go head to head with Bayless in the last round. So, but yeah. What about you, Jimothy?
I'm actually going with Pete Carroll as well. He would have been my number 4, and then Sue would have been my number 3, but Pete Carroll did not give the ball to my incredible man crush, the jersey behind me, Marshawn Lynch, in that Super Bowl, and I will forever hold that against him, because Marshawn Lynch deserved to clinch the game for the Seahawks.
And it would have taken away another Super Bowl from Tom Brady.
Yeah. And I just would have loved to see Marshawn Lynch celebrating with Skittles and ride around on a golf cart and saying words I don't understand.
All right. Number 2. This is tough. I think I'm gonna go with Sue on this one. Because Skip Bayless isn't. Well, I'm just gonna say my top two since obviously, yeah. You know who it is. So because I think Bayless, I feel like it's a more regular thing that he pisses me off. Sue, it's only been a few different interactions, but Bayless, it's like an every day, every week kind of bullshit from him. And I just cannot stand it. So Sue is just, we've had a limited interaction with him as a team, but Bayless is always talking about the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and I'm just like so fucking sick of it. And I hate that he gets money to just spew crap.
True.
So I wish I had that job though. I would totally do that. I'd do that for millions of dollars.
Toddeth?
Little Jimmy James.
Okay. You did not. I'm gonna go with my second one's gonna be Colin Cowherd, because the same reason you guys said. I think they're both for the ratings. Skip, I do think Skip just says shit because he knows he's gonna get people on Twitter retweeting them and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think in their nonsense, Colin Cowherd sometimes makes a little more sense, and that's using that very generously. And I would, if I had to choose, gun to my head, who I'd rather listen to, Cowherd or Bayless, I'd rather go Colin Cowherd. And Skip Bayless, I don't know, to get paid $8 million for the bullshit he does is just insane to me. And I think it's just a part of jealousy that I'm going to put him at number one, because like you said, if someone's going to pay me $8 million to just say absolute nonsense out of my ass, and
like this show, like if we could get paid $1 million for this crap of a show,
hell yeah.
I'd take it.
Exactly. So
pay me $20.
Yeah. Pay me something. Give me a tank of gas. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cowherd and then Bayless for my number one.
Todd, Rick?
I'm going to go Sue at number two. No, that's not what I just
We had the
talked to
same
myself.
fucking lineup.
No. I just told myself something completely different in my head, and then that's not what happened. I'm going with Bayless number two. Like you guys, I can
that.
Like, it bugs me that he gets paid just to say dumb shit. I can say dumb shit all day long. I've proven it time and time again. Yeah. But other than that, like, again, it's just a ratings grab, and it's what he does. He just isn't, he's not as, like, the way Cowherd does it, it's not as unappealing as the way that Bayless goes about it.
And I think Skip kind of does, but I mean, the genuine reaction you see on his show,
there's just no tact.
Really feel right. Yeah, exactly. It's like he's like Trump. Like, it just is. Like, he just goes and he gets infuriated. Like, Cowherd just seems like he's in complete control. Skip feels like he's going to fly off the handle at any moment.
He does fly off the handle.
Right. That's like every time he opens his mouth, I feel like, oh, here we go.
And I would have had Sue at number two if he were still just playing for bad football teams. But the fact that dipshit has a Super Bowl ring, fuck him.
Yeah.
Real hard. He's the worst.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Just so we know, it's not like Sue's one of my favorite players.
You love him. You said you love him.
Yeah,
and you're gonna get his jersey next.
Yeah. So if the Packers signed Sue this offseason, would you be pissed?
I know, but do that.
He'd help.
So the hypothetical isn't even realistic. It's not even hypothetical because it will literally never happen.
I would take him on the team.
Here's my question: would Sue help the team?
There are very few defensive linemen that wouldn't help this team. I would not have an issue with Ndamukong Suh being on the team, assuming that there's not bad blood there, because we know,
right? If Rodgers is okay with,
yeah.
I don't like saying that because I don't think Rodgers should have, you should get his permission, because I don't like setting that standard of making your quarterback think that he has control of the player roster. But
if there's bad blood there,
right,
all of the offensive linemen are going to have Rodgers back on that, and that just makes practice shitty all the time.
Right. That locker room I wouldn't want to deal with necessarily. So I definitely agree there. Like, yeah, sure, he would help, but as Todd said, most would. So, well, fellas, we did it. We somehow got through this. What?
Never mind. It was going to be mean. I'm not going to say it.
He was going to say Jimmy.
No.
Well, now you got to say it.
All right,
Who'd they
guys,
bring
we almost
back this
made it
week?
through the show.
Who did they bring back?
Todd just had like had a breakdown. Lancaster. Yeah, we didn't really talk about that because I didn't think it was going to be
either one. They're
right. Yeah, but Lancaster was like a couple days ago. Anyways, sorry,
That's just
Todd. Are you
time,
okay?
honestly.
Do you need to cry?
I'm fine.
Ask your stepdad for.
I'll be
your
fine.
stepdad,
Just end the
Jimmy.
show.
Your
Just end the
stepdad,
show.
Jimmy first. All
No,
right.
thanks for listening to Wiscoholics. We enjoyed
Wiscoholics.
it.
If you're still here, you deserve some sort of medal. Jimmy, where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Jimmy_C08. Anything I do will be posted there. You're going to have to deal with a lot of Jamal Williams and Lions stuff at the moment because Packers news is dead, and that is my job. So be ready for a lot of Jamal Williams and Coach Luke Neal stuff.
All right. What about you, Todd?
You can find me at the Todd V on Twitter. And that's really the
And
place.
Instagram.
And you're at, just if you're cute though, on the gram. You can also follow my food account. What's Todd eating?
Shut the fuck up.
That's not real.
Oh, that's for sure real.
On
Let me make sure.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
we
doing
gotta
that
pull this
right
up.
now.
Yeah. At what's Todd eating?
Let's all be quiet as we look this up on
Yeah.
Instagram.
So, so it's just what you're eating every day.
No,
Breakfast,
just
lunch,
not
and
every
dinner?
day.
This is my favorite
Oh.
part. This is my passion project.
For sure.
Who's hungry?
If you're not
Who's
hey,
hungry?
Do I look like a guy that's not passionate about food? What's up?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie though, dude. You have some delicious.
You have
food
more
on there.
followers on this than I do on like my regular account, my regular
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, and I didn't pay for any of them.
You follow almost 3,000 people.
Well,
Oh, I thought you were.
gotta give a little to get a little, you know?
Hey, phrasing.
Stop it.
You gave a lot to get a little.
Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at HEROOINE. You can also find me at Game On Wisconsin. I run the socials, so at Game On WI. Follow us on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube if you watch our live shows because Periscope is going away today, so we can no longer put live shows on Twitter. So make sure you're following us on YouTube. And thanks for sticking around this mess of the show. And we will see you next week.
Bye.